Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard.
On today's episode, we're starting off Spooky Month by checking in on our old friend Victor. Welcome to True Strike.
So yeah, howdy folks, and welcome back to the show. It's going to be a little bit different tonight. Like Tyler said in our last episode, he wants to experiment with some stuff, as in doing a spooky show for the month of October. So essentially every other show, doing a one-shot, a two-shot, a however many shots they are game, not necessarily Dungeons and Dragons ?
Well, yeah, and not like every other, as in like, every other week kind of thing, but every week for the month of October, it'll be, instead of news related or thoughts and opinions, we're just going to we'll be trying out some live plays. But since right now it's the two of us, it's going to be these one-on-one live plays, and we're going to kind of see how it goes. At this point, we're just trying this out for fun, and if it sticks, it sticks, and maybe it's something we'll do every year. Tonight, I'm going to be starting off with Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, of course. I'll be running it. And Richard will be playing his character, Victor Nodal, who some of you may actually recognize from our Till the Last Gasp gameplay. That was the gentleman he played in that.
Yeah, so Victor is a character from one of our other games. So this is from our Acquisitions Incorporated game. And Victor is a character that I played for a while. He's an old man, a cleric. And like Tyler said, yeah, we played him in Last Gasp. I played Victor, and Tyler reprised one of his characters from another completely different campaign that was, before Victor ever existed. So
Right.
we did a cross the universe kind of crossover thing, which was really fun for a Last Gasp. Seeing those two characters interact was kind of interesting.
Yeah, and this story is actually going to pick up not too long after our Till the Last Gasp gameplay. So if you haven't listened to that already, go check it out, and then come back here when you're done.
Yeah, so essentially, I don't know how much background we've ever actually given on Victor, and we didn't really go into too much of it in the Last Gasp. I don't know. Do you want to have do you want me to give a little brief synopsis?
Yeah, give a little brief thing, because this is actually going to take place in Phandalin.
Okay.
So you're going to be back at your home.
Be back at home. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, essentially Victor, like I said, was an older man who was a kind of a traveling healer. He hooked up with Acquisitions Incorporated to basically, try and get some answers to some outlying questions that he had, and also something to do because he was a bored, retired old man. Eventually made some fast friends, and they went on some neat little adventures. They did a lot of really cool stuff that ended up in space. So we ended up in a Spelljammer-esque kind of a situation, at which point technically the story went with Victor kind of leaving that ship. So leaving the ship, leaving his new traveling companions to kind of go and do what he used to do, which is kind of solo run stuff. So kind of just being a wandering healer and stuff like that. And that was kind of the canon event that took him to the airship that featured Rudolph, as, Tyler's previous character from a different campaign completely, and their interaction during our Last Gasp game.
Right. At the time going as the Red Hand.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep. And then we're not gonna get through all that because you've listened to that hopefully. Well, after that ends with Victor in a airship life raft of sorts, dropping down back to the planet. He ends up, actually, what do you think would have happened for the next couple of weeks or months?
Well, honestly, that was a pretty rough fight for Victor, and he is no spring chicken, so he is an older man. So there was probably some convalescing on his part. So yeah, he didn't, he didn't come out of that fight unscathed. So he would probably take some time to kind of get back on his feet, I guess, so to speak. Yeah.
So tonight, and yeah, we'll say tonight, we're going to be jumping through kind of like a compressed iteration of the Liching Hour. This is by BJ Keeton, It is an adventure that you can find on DM's Guild, which everyone go support your local creators on DM's Guild, because whether they're local to you or not, they're still local in our hearts. Go support DM's Guild.
Yes, DM's Guild. Woo!
But are you ready?
Yeah, and I guess I should say, I have no idea what this is. I had no idea what the name of this was until you just said it, and I have no idea what to expect. Nor have I ever played in a one-to-one game, like a one-on-one game.
This is just Dungeons & Dragons when we don't have enough friends.
I know. I've never done this before. I don't know what to do.
You're just so full of friends. Well, before we get to the quoted text of where it wants me to start you off, I'm just going to say you've been recouping back in Phandalin for the last few weeks. Tonight you find yourself hanging out, drinking away the night at the Stonehell Inn. It is Liar's Night, which you know is kind of like the D&D equivalent of Halloween. There are children and adults alike all throughout town wearing masks and smashing pumpkins and playing pranks on one another. Acquisitions Incorporated, it's a paid holiday. The paid comes out of, your franchise's budget.
Should have known.
It is a paid holiday. So, everyone there, including Joe, has the night off. And you're just hanging out at the bar. Or, the inn that has a bar. There's only a couple people left around here. Actually, a lot of the town has left to go to bigger cities and other areas. Just because, let's be real, where all the good candy and snacks are is always in the bigger towns.
Gotta go to the rich people's houses.
Exactly. The full-size candy bars. And at this point, you've just been hanging around a bit. And about this time, there's a large at the door, followed by as suddenly a figure stumbles throughout the front door and collapses directly beside your table. They're dressed in a ragged green robe and cloak that are torn and soaked in blood. They look up at you with panic in their eyes, holding a small box towards you in a shaking hand. Get this to Fizzbang. His fate depends on it. You watch as the life fades from their eyes and the box clatters to the ground. Now, when I say small box, picture really like a 12-inch long, 8-inch wide, 6-inch tall wooden box. Like a dark brown. It looks like some of it's maybe been charred. Like perhaps intentionally for design, but more likely maybe it was caught in a fire or been attacked. And on the top of it, a hand and an eye are etched into the center.
All right. Well, I don't know. Does town really get this rowdy often? Does anybody react to this?
At this point, there was one other person in the bar with you that's still here, sitting over at another table. They have put down their glass and are looking forward with awe at like what has just happened. Have I had too much to drink? And then the innkeeper that you do know, his name's Tolbin, Mr. Tolbin Stonehill, actually, who you know pretty well at this point after living in Phandalin for as long as you have. Well, things get pretty rowdy around here, Liar's Night, but can't say we've had a death here.
I don't think he's dead. He's just one of the, I've heard of things that happen in the small towns, the tricking and the treats. So in addition to the candy, they try and play. He's probably fine. I can kick him a little bit. See if I can wake him up.
Kick him?
You can get off the floor now, young man. I'll buy you a drink.
When you kick the body, it has a lot of give. Anytime you make purchase, it kind of just like flumps with your momentum.
He's taking it a little bit far, I think. Hold on. Let me check him out. He's probably had a little bit too much to drink.
Okay.
Taking a joke a little
All
too
right.
far.
Okay.
I'll get down and check
I'll let you handle things.
check his pulse.
You check his pulse. All right. Go ahead and make me a medicine check.
That's a 17.
He's dead.
Oh, okay. That's real unfortunate.
How is he?
He's not great. I'm not gonna lie to you. Things ain't looking good for this man.
Oh, not just a trick?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
Can I tell how he died with a 17?
Yeah. You see, flipping him over, you actually see some bits of, like torn cloak on the back now, and bits of blood is actually starting to pool from behind him, where it looks like maybe he's been stabbed multiple times in the back. Like he was running away from someone, and there's bits of his outfit that are actually singed through maybe like fireball spells, stuff like that. Firebolt, more likely, I guess. Fire adjacent spells.
Fire adjacent stuff. All right. I guess I'll pick up the box.
Okay.
And take a closer look at it. You said it looks like it's damaged?
It looks like it's been charred, but the actual like box itself isn't like, it's not like it's like corners are like ripped off or beaten and battered. There's not like the splinters of wood, just that it's been charred.
Okay. I'll show it to Tobin. And have you ever seen anything like this before? And what was the name he said? Fizzbang, I think. Who is that?
Oh, huh. Well, I can answer both these questions kind of with a similar answer.
Oh, that's convenient.
That symbol on the top there, I've only ever seen that symbol with Fizzbang. He, Fizzbang Frazzlepop. Yeah, he used to come through here a lot. He was a goblin who always said, you know, us townsfolk were too small potatoes, you know? He said, what was it? He said he was going to be a lich. That's what it was. He wanted to live forever. That this mortal life wasn't for him. But he's always trying things. So every time he'd come in, you know, whether to stay for a little bit, just passing through, or to get a drink, he'd always be covered in new scars, and new bits of his face and body were mangled and torn and different. And I don't know. It's people around town, they talk about it every once in a while. They call these things his get lich quick schemes. Like he's just doing anything and everything he can to try to get this going on for him, but obviously it ain't working. But he's just been so obsessed with the idea of becoming a lich. Now, I think if you know, memory serves, the last time he was in here, he was telling me about his school. He was very proud. He said he went to a Wixhaven? Strixhaven, that's what it was. He went to a Strixhaven, Witherbloom. He said he's been all over, like, the worlds and different domains of dread or something like that. Said he's got a good buddy Strahd. I don't know none about this, too much, but like he's I don't know, he's very ambitious. I'll give him that. But that symbol there, he was looking up, he had a book. Said it would lead him to something of a Vecna or something like that, and had that same symbol on it.
So you said he comes through from time to time. Does he have a place here in town where he stays?
I don't think so, but Fanlin's always kind of been a welcoming town. I mean, you know, everyone here is pretty neighborly. I'm surprised you've never met him.
That doesn't sound too familiar. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess we could have passed.
I guess you and your close associates don't spend too much time in town. You're usually off on the adventures, but maybe Joe's talked to him from time to time. Is Joe still around?
Possibly, yeah. I mean, he should be.
Okay. Well, maybe Joe knows more.
I guess I'll head back in and see if he knows anything. Well, thank you for the information. Unfortunately, I don't really know what to do about this poor young man's body.
Oh, well, as a man of healing, I thought you were going to try to res him real quick there, but you didn't. And from what I've heard, that kind of stuff has to be done pretty soon. So I guess you just kind of let him die, huh?
Well, I mean, I didn't let him die. He died.
Yeah, I don't really understand this magic stuff. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, so to speak, you can bring people back to life, but it's not small magic,
Right.
I'm
That's
no
how you become-
god.
Is that like lich stuff, right? That's what, Fizzbang's into?
Yes.
Okay. My bad. Sorry about that. Can I get you a drink?
No, I think I've probably had quite enough, honestly. I think I need to figure out a little bit more of what's going on here. I mean, obviously, there's something untoward going on with your Fizzbang, so to speak. If somebody's dying here, then it can't be good news.
And to think they died for that box? What the heck's in that thing?
I don't know, but in my experience, opening boxes that you're not sure what's inside of them doesn't always necessarily yield desirable results, nor does touching random things. In fact, just picking up this box was questionable in its own right, in my experience.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense too. All right, so if you don't need a drink or anything else, well, shoot, I don't really want to take care of the dead body. I guess it's in my establishment, so I guess I have to. I can't really ask you to do it. Let me go check on Carol over here real quick, and then afterwards, I'll clean up this, I guess, and maybe I'll go find Sildar and see if he can figure out what's going on.
I'd like to say that Acquisitions Incorporated could help you out, but honestly, I don't think it's very likely.
Well, you guys get holidays off, right?
I mean, generally speaking, going with, past events and the way things are handled, and yeah, technically it is my day off, so.
I like to think this one's not on you.
I'd like to think I didn't kill the man.
Well, I mean, probably not.
He doesn't even know me. He just handed me a box.
He came straight to you.
If I had been over there by the fire, he would have handed it to you.
Yeah, it's probably true. But all right, I'll go check on Carol and then I'll get this sorted out. Find Sildar, all that stuff I already said. You need anything, you know where I am. Otherwise, happy Liars Night, I guess.
Well, good luck. I'll leave you a tip.
I mean, thanks.
I'll leave him 10 gold, actually.
10 gold.
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Victor's rolling, dude.
Is
And he feels bad that he's leaving a dead body here.
okay. All right. Wow. Well, so you're gonna turn to leave?
Yeah.
Ha! Too late. Right when you turn to leave, two men in dark robes. Black and dark are pretty synonymous. Dark black robes. Squawk into the inn.
Squawking?
They kind of like push like in, like if there's a third, they wouldn't have actually fit through the doorway, but two just perfectly fits, and they both walk in with those like curvy ceremonial daggers in their hands, walking towards you, kind of looking like ring wraiths, and one of them looks at you and says, "Give me the box, or else." The other one says, "Yeah, give me the box."
So I just take the box and put it in my bag and say, "What box?"
You know what box? That box. It's in your bag.
No, there's probably a box on the dead man.
No.
It's easy to be confused, especially in the dock when everybody's been drinking. Anyway, have a good evening.
Roll initiative. Are you attempting to leave without confrontation?
Oh, so I got a 2.
Oh, a 2. That's good.
Yeah.
2 is a number higher than 1. Yeah.
For those not in the know, I have a -1 to initiative. A smart man would have opened up the game with my special ability that allows me to get advantage on initiative.
Yeah.
But Victor's been drinking, and it's his day off, so he would not have given himself advantage on initiative rolls.
These are things.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Gotta remember that damage now. Okay, about there. All right. So these two cultists, or sorry, these two could be anybody in dark
Who's that
robes,
cultist?
have come in. They've both taken positions. One of them staying close to the door to try to block you, and the other one like walking up towards you. In fact, since they go first, we can do that mechanically. As one waits by the door, readying an action, could be for anything, and the other one moving in towards you. But the one readying an action, they've pulled out their blade and they're kind of just like in like a defensive stance, but it looks like they're ready to strike. Maybe if you come up, the other one, blade out, is going to actually pull it up over their head and run towards you, and they get a 13 to hit.
I have an 18.
Ooh, that is going to miss then, as you are able to easily deflect it off, even in your drunken state or, slightly inebriated state, able to push the dagger off to the side. That's it for their turn, and the other one's holding their action. So what would you like to do?
Okay. So Victor, having seen the guy basically charge at him, knows that he's not going to get out of here without fighting at this point. It's inevitable. He's been in enough fights. So he goes and pulls his sword. He unsheaths his sword, which he would expect to be his nice long sword with like the skeletal hilt or anything like that. But it's not. It's actually the one that he pulls out is one that was given to him by a druid that had started traveling with them by the name of Fitch. So it's a different sword than what he usually uses.
Yep.
He's only used this sword once before, and that's because he hates it, because it is the only sword that he has that talks, and that is Tom.
Hey, Victor! Who we killing tonight?
Tom, I didn't mean to pull you out.
Well, I don't know why you wouldn't.
Because it's not really the time for a discussion right now. We have something to do.
We can multitask.
And I'd rather just keep the discussions to a minimum right now.
Yeah, no problem.
So that we can just work.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's start stabbing.
I'm not going to use my bonus action to activate Tom.
Okay.
I'm just pulling him out.
Right.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh, that's a good move.
I am going to... Is it the other gentleman? He's close enough, I'm assuming.
Oh,
this is
absolutely.
a small inn,
Yes,
right?
yeah,
Okay.
it's not
Yeah,
huge.
okay. Perfect. So yeah, I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Spiritual Weapon. We'll do it at... we'll do it at second level.
Okay.
So my spiritual weapon is a mace that looks like the phases of the moon, because my god is Selune. So yeah, it looks like the different phases of the moon. It's a nice ornate mace that's just floating and hovering in the air. So that's my bonus action for that. And then as my action, I guess I will swing at the gentleman who came at me.
Okay. As you do this, you hear from Tom, why doesn't your other weapon ever look like me? Do you wish I looked different?
It's a religion thing, okay?
Oh, sure, I guess.
I don't choose what it looks like.
Oh, promise?
Yes, it's just it's the way it defaults. It's given to me by my god.
Oh, I should have known. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even have asked.
Don't feel bad.
I'm so embarrassed.
It's fine. Stab this gentleman.
Okay.
And I'll swing at him. Does a 17 hit?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. And then, so that is a 3 on the die and a +3. So a 6 total.
6. Okay. So, as Tom buries himself deep into the rib cage of this cultist, the one with the gravelly voice, of course, who's like, as he gets gutted. He's still standing. Yeah. And Tom seems disappointed by this. I'm disappointed by this. But he does look very hurt.
Okay.
Like he's holding onto the wound, and he looks like he maybe would be stumbling a bit if he tried to like chase after you. But he's still up. Like he's still committed to the cause.
Okay.
Do you have any other attacks you want to do on this turn?
So the spiritual weapon
Yep.
is going to take a swing at the other guy.
This one doesn't talk, so I won't narrate that.
As I'm basically commanding a spiritual weapon to go over there, I'm just going to say, this is going to be your last chance to leave this inn still standing and not looking like the fella that the poor innkeeper is going to have to take care of later.
Yeah, no, he's not going anywhere. He looks at you and he says, yeah, over my dead body.
Well, I mean, you said it. You heard him, Tom. Does a 19 hit the other guy?
Yes, a 19 hits that guy too. You're on fire right now.
That is a 7 on the die, so that's a 10 total.
10 total, you
on
say?
the spiritual weapon against the guy in the door.
What do you want his mangled corpse to look like when you destroy him?
Oh, okay. So basically, what my spiritual weapon would have done in this case would just waylay him upside the head and out of the doorway.
Oh, neat.
So basically, whap, and then down, slumped to the side.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what happens. And it's just dagger drops out of his hand as his just boop, like momentum straight through the door. Wow. And in that brief moment of the door being open, because I'm imagining like saloon type doors, as they flip open, you see 2 more cultists heading in.
Oh, come on.
One of them actually steps over this one, the one that just got flung out.
You sure you want to do that?
Is there anything else you can do for your turn?
No, that's the end of my turn.
Okay. So at the top of the round then, 2 cultists emerge into the inn, and the one next to you, instead of taking a stab at you, they're going to attempt to grapple you grapple you. So this would either be an opposed athletics or acrobatics check from you to avoid it.
Whew. I guess I'll go with...
So I got a 19. You got to beat a 19.
What? I don't think I can do that. So I have a +1 to athletics.
Okay.
So I need to roll...
Beats it.
A 19 or an 18 on this die.
Yes.
Yeah. That's an 11.
Okay. So you are grappled by a very injured cultist. The other 2 cultists are going to come up, and they're going to attempt to grab the box. It's in his bag. They're going to try to grab the box out of your bag. They're both going to try. And the DC, according to the module, is a 10. So I'm not going to argue with it. It's a 10 and a 15. So rummaging through your bag, they're able to grab this box. 2 of them, the one that's grappling you, is still going to hold on to you along with the other one. The one with the box is going to attempt to flee.
He's going to try and leave?
Yes. And what's this end? I'll say that ends their turn right there. He gets a few feet away from you and then ends the turn.
Okay. So he's only a few feet away from me, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's got the box.
Correct.
All right. I am going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Oh, okay.
Because that should catch him.
Yeah. Yeah. And your spiritual weapon isn't concentration, so that'll stay up too.
So, yeah, I'm going to cast Spirit Guardians.
Victor's so good.
So that is...
And even though you're grappled, I think you'd still have an attack of opportunity against him when he moved a few feet away from you. So if you want,
I thought that the grapple would keep me from making an attack of opportunity.
I believe that just negates your movement. I don't think it hurts your attacks.
Oh, okay.
And I could be totally wrong, and this I'll double check when we're done. But for now, if you'd like to go ahead and make an attack really quick.
Sure.
Because I don't want to take that away from you.
That is a dirty 20.
Hey, yeah, that hits.
Yeah. But it is only 7 damage.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
As he's trying to get away from you, he's already got like a heavy limp. Okay.
All right.
And then the spiritual
the
guardians.
spiritual guardians come in, which for Victor are a bunch of species of owls. So like night owls and barn owls and stuff like that, basically flitting around and like diving in and clawing, like raking claws over people.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
What color is spiritual guardians?
What color are they?
Yeah.
I imagine they kind of look like Patronuses.
Okay. So like a light blue?
Like a light blue.
Okay.
Yeah. Like moonlight, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like moonlight is what they would be.
So these like wispy, like bits of like moonlight, white and stuff shimmer and shine as they float around you. These little owls raking and clawing at all these people in hoods.
Yeah, so that is my action is Spirit Guardians. And then I guess as a bonus action, what do I really have? As a bonus action, I'm going to move my spiritual weapon up to the guy that's grappling me.
Okay.
And hit him.
Okay.
That's a 16.
That'll hit.
And that's 8 damage.
Does it? Yeah. Same thing, just mushed him. All right.
And that's it.
So that you are no longer grappled. He's been mushed. And the other one's going to take that spiritual the guardian damage at the beginning of their turn, correct?
Yes. So anybody that starts in there has to make a save.
So that's the other two.
Yep. So that's the other two.
What do they got to beat?
Let's see here. They got to make a wisdom saving throw of 14.
One of them had a 17. One of them has a 9.
Okay. So it is. Let's see here. Half as much damage on the successes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to love to hear this then. The one that got a success is the one that's at full health, and the one... Or sorry, other way around. The one that got a success was the one that's started running from you, that you already hit with your sword. And the one that failed is the one that's full health. So this worked out very well for you.
Okay, so the damage was 15.
Oh.
So
Crap.
that would be 7 on the one that's running and 15 on the one that's with me.
We only had 3 health left. Okay. So they're shredded by these moonlight owls. You know, I got to make these harder for you. I keep forgetting Victor's the strength of 3 men. And 10 more cultists.
He's old. Oh, God. Well, I got more owls.
Don't even
just walk in. Just walk in.
Don't
Come
even
on.
act with bows.
Hey. I feel a lot better about this 10 gold tip now, see?
Yeah, you're doing this. Oh, God. I don't know if, Tolbin is, but hey. What's all the bodies?
I did not start this. I was just trying to leave your bar. Your establishment is very violent.
He looks out a back window and he can see there are numerous cultists starting to surround from the back. And he says, there's more of them coming. Get out of here. Go. Go.
I have to get something first. I'm going to go get the box.
You grab the box?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Are you holding it? Is it throw it in your bag?
I'm going to throw it in my bag.
Throw it in your bag and you're going to go?
Yeah, I'm going to leave.
All right. Where are you rowing?
So, I guess to Joe.
All right. You're trying to make your way up to Joe?
Yeah.
All right. So as you rush from the tavern, there's cultists chasing you down the streets of Phandalin. The Liar's Night festivities are in full swing, and the party in the square and on the town green confuse and create even more chaotic atmosphere as partygoers and cultists converge in a throng. The cultists' number grow, and as you run, you see hooded figures coming in alleyways and on rooftops. From behind, the scent of brimstone fills your nostrils. Ahead, you see a strange glow in the distance. It must be what was formerly the Tresendar Manor, now your Acquisitions Incorporated Z-Team branch. But why is it glowing? You think to yourself. Maybe there's a party. But hopefully it's a party. Fizzbang might be there, though. Weird coincidence, if so. We'll find out when we get there. Yeah. I'm
So
not
I've
going to
got
read that next thing.
cultists training me right now.
You are getting all over. There are cultists all over trying to get this box from you. Now, we're going to do a series of skill checks. First, as you run into this party, immediately after leaving the inn, there's this large party in the town center. Cultists are zipping and dipping and dodging and trying to get through the citizens to get to you. Now, of course, no one's freaking out because everyone's in costume this night. So only you are actually clocking them as a threat. However, they are most certainly a threat. I need you to make me a perception check to see if you can keep your eyes on the cultist as they're attempting to blend in with the crowd.
Okay.
You're looking for a 16.
So that is an 18.
Heck yes. All right. You are able to clock these individuals as they, even though it's dark out and everyone is in these costumes and stuff, you're able to keep track of at least the big ones that are the closest to you and the main threat. Now, as they're coming up through, closer and closer to you, you're moving through the crowd, they're moving through the crowd, I need you to make me a Constitution saving throw.
A Constitution saving throw?
Yes. Luckily, you passed your last check, so this is not a disadvantage.
Okay. That is only a 9.
So unfortunately, you're keeping track of these cultists, and when you go to turn around, you run into this large man. Not a threat to you at all, nothing menacing, but it pushes you to the ground. And then just throughout the hustle and bustle and everyone running around and dancing, you're getting kicked and stepped on completely unintentionally. But, you know, older gentleman, it still does damage. And you're actually going to take... Oof. Let's see what the numbers are before I say oof. 8 points of bludgeoning damage from townsfolk as they are just kicking a helpless old man to death.
Okay. So can I get up and continue to run?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. So
yes, you're jostled hard, you're falling to the ground, you're kicked by dancers and celebrants, but afterwards you're able to get back through the crowd and then head down the eastern road.
So how far am I from the headquarters?
Like in a miles way?
Yeah.
I mean, you're in the town. Tresnar Manor is out of town and up the hill. I mean, because you got your teleport stuff, right?
So
I think we're looking at like a half-mile situation here, kind of thing.
Okay, so having bumped into that guy, I don't want that to happen again.
Right.
And it's night, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm gonna cast Steps of the Night.
Okay.
Which means that I can now fly.
Is it? I forget now. Is it actual straight up flight, or are you like stepping on shadow?
When Victor does it, it's like stepping on shadow.
Right.
So he's like basically moving through shadows and through dim light. So I'm gonna try and move above so that I don't run into anybody else, and to try and use that to my advantage to get away from everybody.
Right. That's sick. So because of this,
I have it for a minute.
So because of this, I'm going to give you advantage on this next thing. As you step over the crowd and you start to like move, like, because you're still going between like buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
But just kind of like stepping up and starting to, fly out. Some cultists are actually going to start jumping out of windows and off the rooftops to attempt to grab you. So make me a dexterity check. Acrobatics check with advantage. You need a 15.
That is definitely not going to do it. That's a 5. And that is an 18.
That does it. Yeah. So all these cultists are coming at you like it's raining dogs, but it's raining... Oh, sorry, not cultists. People in robes.
And totally normal people wearing robes.
Yes. And they're just missing you. One man just like... They try to grab for your bag itself, but you're able to parry him off with the shield. And not a problem. You're still moving along fine. They've hit the ground pretty hard. In fact, let's just for poops and giggles, they're probably not doing so great. Yeah, that's awesome. Now the last skill set we have here is to see if you can, now that you've got this newfound distance, to see if you can maintain it, as you've got ones trying to hit you with fire bolts and other ranged methods. And if you can like keep this speed up, luckily you're not being held back by the citizens. So yet again, I'm going to give you advantage on this. If you could make me a athletics check, DC 15.
All right. I got a +1 to this. So first roll was a 16. Second roll was a dirty 20.
Hey, you do it. All right. So because of this, yes, in the distance, well, at first you see like arrows flying past you here and there and firebolts, almost like fireworks. Of course, the citizens, woo! You hear a celebration behind you every time one goes off because they think it's for fun. Turns out it's not for fun.
This is not part of the festivities. This is not a drill.
Everyone's having a wonderful
time.
But
I will throw some candy down.
You would. What is the candy, Victor?
I always carry little Werthers,
right?
Basically, little
old
caramels,
little D&D Werthers.
I keep caramels in my pocket.
Yep.
That's canon to give out to people. Just everybody. I always keep some candies in my pocket.
As far as I'm aware, these are unlimited. I don't think he ever.
Oh no! I made a point to refill them during our last trip into town. You made me make a roll to see if there was somebody who made candy in that town.
I don't remember this at all.
That I could buy. You made me make a check for this candy. I have it.
Oh man, yeah. You know what? It sounds like something I would do. So, yeah, you've got the candy.
The weirdest parade float.
So, formerly known as the Tressendar Manor, now known as the Z-Team branch of the Acquisitions Incorporated, you probably towards the, you probably actually would have landed a little bit before making it here, just on the distance. So you manage, you run up that hill, and you get to the doorstep of your home, so to speak. And getting there, on the outside, nothing looks too different outside of the ordinary, except for whatever reason there is lightning flashing constantly, but only over here. Like only over your business is there lightning everywhere, and the trees are like blowing in the wind, even though it's not a windy day. And it's just got a general strange vibe. You swear you hear like, ooh, but I don't know. It's hard to say where it's coming from. And there is this weird greenish glow coming from behind the building. It's weird.
From behind the building?
From behind
in the building?
Right.
Oh.
From behind the building.
Isn't that where our carriage house is at?
It might be.
Yeah.
But on the front, you do see a note, probably about the size of a normal sheet of paper. If you inspect the note, it says, went water deep, Joe. So you think maybe Joe, for his day off, decided to head out of town for a little bit. Waterdeep's pretty far, though, so hopefully we'll be back by tomorrow.
Did he even lock the door? I'm going to check the door.
It's not locked.
Joe? Does anybody work here anymore?
So do you go inside?
I'll open up the front door and see if there's like any sound coming from inside.
Perception check, please.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20?
Yeah.
It seems fine. You don't with a dirty 20, yeah, it seems pretty good. You don't notice anything strange from in here. It sounds like all the funkiness is coming from at least outside, if not around back.
All right, I'm gonna close the door and lock it.
Ooh, how bold of you!
Do everything around here.
Hopefully, Joe has his key with him.
It doesn't. If he doesn't, he's gonna have to talk to me first. Do I have a pen? I want to write on the notes.
Yeah. You of course you'd have a pen. You have magical ink well and everything, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just gonna write "lock the door" in giant caps with an exclamation point and a frowny face.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna lock the door so that nobody else can go inside of our hut, our house, our fort,
Your business.
our place of business.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm going around back.
Okay. So, going around back, it does seem like this strange, ominous green glow is coming from what is the stables house. The doors on it are closed, but they're shaking. And this green mist is coming out from underneath the doorways, and green light shining through the cracks and like through like the windows going around it is this green light emanating from it. And it's funky. And about this time, you hear from the box behind you.
Oh, so this sound's coming from the box. All right, I'm gonna take the box out. I want to open it.
You open up the box?
Yeah.
You could certainly try. So at first glance, there's no way to open this box. It has the symbol on the top, and I mean it's definitely got a crease like around it. Okay, it's should be able to open. Weird. Do you have any kind of thieves' tools on you?
I'm looking right now. I don't think I do.
Okay.
I have a disguise kit.
Oh, okay. That could come in handy.
I have Tinker's tools.
Okay.
No, I do not have a. Why was it? Yeah, I don't have a kit.
Okay. Well, I'll give you two options then. You could make me a religion check to try to discern more from the symbol on the top, or you could make me an Arcana check to try to figure out what's keeping this thing locked.
Religion is more of my just wheelhouse in general.
And you could really do both. I'm not going to stop you from both, but
no, I think religion is what what I would be using anyway, because given my background and everything like that.
So look in this box over, looking for a way to open it. You don't see anything. So you really investigate the symbol on the top.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good. That's only a 10.
10?
Yeah.
You haven't seen this before, but you heard the name Vecna, so maybe it has something to do with this Vecna person.
What happens if I pour a little bit of holy water on it?
Holy water
Yeah.
on the box.
Yeah.
Okay, you can do that.
I mean, it seems like it's not a good thing.
I mean, I'm sure it'd be
But just
fine.
a little tipple.
Do you want to do an Arcana check first or after?
I mean, who needs Arcana checks?
Sure.
I just want to pour a little holy water on it. See what happens.
Yeah. Does your holy water do any damage?
Oh,
Or is it just holy water?
It's adventure.
Because I mean, you're not pouring this on a vampire. You're pouring it on
Well, it's
a box.
It against fiends or undead. It's radiant damage.
Okay.
2d6.
So you pour some on the box?
Yeah.
It just runs off the box. Nothing really changes. It's weird. I mean, I don't know what we really expected, but it didn't
Anything
happen.
really.
Yeah, no. If anything, it's crisp, purified water.
Okay, fine. All right. Well, I don't like whoever is doing in my carriage house.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm going to put this back in my bag,
Okay.
and I'm going into the carriage house.
All right.
Wait. Before I go into the carriage house,
Oh.
I need a little bit of encouragement,
Oh.
and I'm going to take some of that holy water, and I
Victor's thinking ahead.
put a little on my forehead and boop myself.
Okay.
And give myself advantage on my next initiative roll.
Ooh. And this just lasts until long rest?
Until I make another initiative roll.
Nice. All right. You step into the carriage house, and you see a goblin necromancer reaching towards his face, chanting words that you've just out of earshot to hear. Next, you sit back in horror as blood explodes from his face and he screams. The figures around him continue chanting, and Fizbang throws something down on the ground with a splat. Immediately, it moves and rests its gaze on you, the red iris pulsing and black pupil dilating. It's staring at you, Victor.
All right, party's over. You need to move out.
Grasping his eye, grasping an empty socket where his eye used to be. Oh. He puts his hand down. The bleeding has already stopped, and there's this disgusting red and puffy swollen area where his eyeball used to be already. And the eye on the ground is still watching your movements. Did you bring the hot?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. Well, next on the list anyway. And he walks over to a small wooden table where you normally, get the feed ready and stuff for horses in the stable. The group of hooded members around him still chanting something in a language you don't understand. Well, next on the list. He grabs a meat cleaver, lifts it up high, and chops off his right hand. His hand laying there separately. He grabs it, slams it on the ground also next to the eye. Okay. Now for my heart.
I'm going to need you to stop with the body parts right now.
And that's where we're going to end tonight.
Wait, we're stopping?
Yeah. For now.
Fine.
But tune in next week, y'all, for the thrilling conclusion of the Liching Hour. Woo! So I wanted to save a little bit of time here at the end to be like, so how's your solo shot going so far?
This is really fun. I like it. It's been so long since I've been in Victor's shoes in an actual game. Yeah, I mean, Last Gasp was a game.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Victor in all of his glory. I
always
forgot how many cool things that Victor can do.
That's what I was going to say. I forgot how friggin' powerful Victor is. But when I was considering this originally, actually, we'd actually talked, I was like, oh, do you want to be a different character? Do you want to be a character you already have established? And I was like, it'd be cool to do Victor. One, because I love Victor as a dungeon master. Victor is a really cool character. I enjoy his personality, his story, everything about him. But out of all the characters I think we have in any of our games, as far as a solo game goes,
survivability,
Victor can really handle himself.
Yeah, Twilight Domain clerics are something else, I'll tell you guys.
Very good.
They are very, very good. This is a character that we've talked about it before in passing. When I wrote Victor, it was a very long backstory, and I never intended Victor to be super powerful. In fact, he was supposed to be just this weak old man cleric. And I was like, this is going to be really cool because I'm going to make kind of a weak character that's going to need to lean on other party members to really get stuff done. And then I accidentally min-maxed this beast of a old man.
He's so good.
Who has so many cool abilities. And I absolutely adore the Twilight Domain. There's just so many cool things that happen in here. Just being able to fly.
Yeah, it's
at
so
night
cool.
Is so neat.
You're like, it's dark out? Well, guess what?
Yeah, as soon as I bumped into somebody, I'm like, wait a second. I could just walk above everyone.
I know, I'm looking at all the skill challenges. It's have them do these skill challenges because they're on the ground. And I'm like, how do I make these work when they're not on the ground?
I didn't even use all of my abilities.
I know.
I had more that I could have done, I think. I don't know if they would have been beneficial or not. But yeah, I always forget how much fun Victor can be.
He's so cool.
As a character, yeah. Yeah, he's good. Twilight Domain. It's wild. Love it.
But we'll check in on Victor one more time next week. And like I said, have the thrilling conclusion and we'll see what's up with Fizz Bang Frazzle Pop and this whole Liching Hour thing that's happening right now. Weird, right?
Yeah, I don't like this guy.
But for now, I've been Tyler.
And I've been Richard.
And we've been True Strike.
Victor signing off.
Bye. Hey, adventurers. Thanks again for joining us today. Please be sure to give us a follow on your favorite podcasting platforms and YouTube. If there's any questions you'd like to write in the show, you can hit us up on Threads or Instagram. New episodes release every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you for listening to True Strike. Hello, adventurers. My name's Tyler.
And I'm Richard. What? Why'd you pause like that? You paused.
You paused. I was like, oh man, he really does need the script. Didn't remember his line.
Well, I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be Richard or not.
And I'm Victor.
And that's because I almost did it. I was like, and I'm Victor.
Oh my god. I mean, okay.